Thank you, Mr. Speaker. For almost 30 years, we have been engaged in the Balkans and until recently in Bosnia and Herzegovina. And in December last year, we withdrew from Operation Althea, the international stabilisation force in the country. The decision to withdraw came just as Bosnia was about to be put under the worst possible pressure by Bosnian Serb successionist leaders. And in the words of the High Representative, Christian Smith, who reported to the UN Security Council last week, Bosnia and Herzegovina faces the greatest existential threat of the post-war period, and the prospects for further division and conflict are very real. And ignoring and downplaying this state of affairs could have a perilous impact for the region and beyond. The successionists, Mr. Speaker, are operating with the support of Russia, as we saw in the Security Council meeting last week, and Serbia, as is evident from the joint military exercises held over the last few weeks between Bosnian and Serb forces. This is a dangerous situation in a country where ethnic cleansing and genocide were perpetuated in the 1990s. So with this in mind, can the Minister tell the House that it is still government policy that the redrawing of borders in the Balkans was finished in the 1990s and that it will not accept any successionist adventurism? Secondly, that the EUFOR presence on the ground in Bosnia is hardly sufficient to respond to any security challenge with only 700 troops on the ground and with inadequate equipment. What consideration has been given to redeploying UK forces in support of EUFOR and through NATO? And thirdly, what consideration has been given to impose sanctions on anyone undermining the Dayton Peace Accords, in line with the US, but sadly lacking from the EU and the UK? Mr. Speaker, in an article written last week by the Nobel Baroness Hellich, she quotes the UN Secretary-General Kofi Annan, commenting on the Bosnian genocide in 2000. The most important lesson, he said, was that we must recognise evil for what it is and confront it not with expediency and compromise, but with implacable resistance. Now is the time for us to act and not for us to wait, because if we fail to do so, we will only further to weaken the international rules-based order, embolden our enemies, but we will also see death and destruction rage again in our backyard.